is a morpheme? A morpheme is the smallest unit in a word that has meaning. If you have a look at our word cracker, we have 3 sections on it. On the left, we have some green tiles, which we refer to as prefixes. A prefix goes on the beginning of a word to change the meaning of the word. On the right-hand side, we have some red and blue tiles, and they are referred to as suffixes. A suffix is put on the end of a word to change the meaning of the word. In the middle, we have bases and roots. Now let's take this word port here. Port means to carry or bear. Port can stand alone, can't it? I can say I went to the port. So we call that a base word because it can stand alone. I'm going to build that word up now, though, and I'm going to make it into X with the prefix EX and the suffix ED, and make that word into exported. So prefix X, base, port, suffix ED. Let's try another one. I'm going to bring down this one here, which says ject. Now, ject cannot stand alone. It has to have a prefix on it to make it into a word. So in word cracker, we refer to this as a root from which we grow on other parts. Some people refer to this as a bound morpheme. It means exactly the same, just means that you need to have parts added onto it to make the word. So let's make the word rejected with the prefix re and the suffix ed. Rejected. So it means to throw back in the past tense. Now it's your turn. Have a little think at your end and see if you can identify the different morphemes in these words, and then I'll make them on the cracker for you. The first word is depressing. Have a little try. Here we go. We've got prefix D, base, press, and suffix ing. Depressing. The next one is container. Prefix con, root, tain, and it's called a root because you can't tain something. We have to add a prefix onto it, and suffix er, container. Next one, transporting. Prefix trans, base, port, suffix ing. The next one, destructive. Prefix d, root, struct, suffix ive. And the last one, perhaps I'll catch you out on this one. Deconstructed. Let's have a look at that one. Prefix D, prefix con, yes, you can have 2 prefixes, root, struct, and suffix ed. We have deconstructed the word, deconstructed. So now you know what a morpheme is, you'll be good to go. Now that you understand what a morpheme is, let's have a look at how you can get started with your student. Go to the home page and click to choose a lesson preset. Then go over to the right-hand side and select suffix S and the green Go button. On the left here, you will see some teacher notes. Now, your student will need to be taught what a suffix is, what a verb is, and what a noun is. And these can all come as you get further into the teaching with your student. But for today, let's just get the student playing on the cracker. Select the first word. Ask the student to read the word tin. Drag down the S and ask the student to read the word tins. So it was tin and then it became tins. Let's try some other words. Hit, and with the added S it makes hits. Next word. Print, prints. Next word. Cat, cats. Next word. Stand, stands. Next word. Spend, spends. You may want to type in some of your own words. Let's say you wanted to make the word drink. Type it in. A student can read drink, drinks, and you can move that up there. Let's try another one. I'm going to type in the word help, help, helps. Let's try another one. Dog, dogs. So it's as easy as that. Get your student used to reading the word with and without the suffix S on the end. Follow this work up with some work on paper. In the early days of reading, you may want to restrict the number of tiles that are on the board, as this will be less confusing for your student. Let's imagine that your student has learned 3 suffixes, suffix S, suffix ES and suffix ING. Let's go to choose morphemes, and then I can see now I want to pick up the suffix ES, the suffix S and the suffix ING, and then go to the Go button. Can you see now that all the other morphemes have been removed and it's a less confusing board for young students. Then I'm going to go to the base word and simply type in some words which are in the phoneme structure to which I've taught. In other words, they're not going to include any letters I haven't taught to my student. So let's go with help, and let's go with kiss, and let's go with mash, and 3 more, drink, and wash, and think. Then I can just bring one of those base words down, see how it gets bigger as it goes onto the cracker, and I can ask my student which suffixes could go on the end to make a longer word. Can I put the ES suffix down? No, I can't, because I've already learned that ES can only be used after certain letter combinations. Can I use the suffix ING? Yes, help becomes helping. Get your student to read those words with you. Okay, and then we can come down with S and make the word helps. Let's try another word. Let's go with kiss. All right. Can I put the suffix S on there? No, I can't. I can't have 3 S's going together. I need to use the suffix ES. Ask your student, what does that say? It says kisses. And we can also use the suffix ING, kissing. All right, let's try another one. Mash. Ask the student which suffix they could use. Yes, we could put the ES suffix down. Mash becomes mashes. Mash becomes mashing. But we can't have mash becoming mashes like that. We need that ES suffix. And then you can just simply work through all the other base word and suffix combinations. Remember to follow this up with some work in the book with your student afterwards. For many children, spelling is a very challenging task. If we can teach a student to identify the morphemes in a word, it will help them feel as if they have a strategy to tackle a complex word. Now you can start this from the very early days. So for example, I want to spell the word tins. All right, that's fairly easy, isn't it? I can segment it on my fingers. Tin. And work out that there's an S on the end to its. Not really a problem unless I don't know that the S can make that Z sound to it. Let's have a look at some more complex words though. If I said the word acts, like she acts in a play, that can be a little challenging because of that consonant blend of CT. Let's make that word here. Okay. All right. So if we say to the student, she acts in a play, you might get AX, you might get ACKS because of that blend. So tricky for our young students. But if you can say, he acts in a play, but I act in a play. I can chop off the suffix S and then I can hear that word act and get that finger spelling act. And then they can have more success with it. Here's another one. These ones with consonant blends at the end are particularly tricky. Okay, let's have a word like camping. Okay, chop off the suffix, say to the student, camping. I am camping in the forest. They might pick up that there is the suffix ing. Brilliant, okay. But can they now identify what the base word, camping? I am camping. See if they can do it. Can they come up with the word camping? So if you're camping, you're going to camp. Yes, now I can spell that word camp because I can hear all the phonemes. And there we go, we can put it in, camp plus suffix ing, camping. Let's do one more. Tricky one here. So let's say we've got the word rested, okay? Now your student typically might say something like, if they were spelling it phonetically. But if they've been taught that the suffix ed makes a sound at the end, okay, I can chop off the suffix, and that's suffix ed, and that leaves me with the base word rest, rested. Try this chopping off technique with your students and see if that's helpful. Bye for now.